Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Disruption. In 2007, a group of executives sat inside a boardroom at a company that controlled almost half of the global mobile phone market. They were powerful, profitable, untouchable. They laughed when they heard the news. A computer company was entering the phone industry. The product had no keyboard. The battery couldn't even be removed. It was expensive, and they said something that would become one of the most famous business mistakes in history. They said, "This will never work." That company was Nokia, and the small computer company they mocked was Apple. Within a few years, Nokia collapsed, and Apple became one of the most valuable companies in human history. So what happened? How did a giant fall and a newcomer dominate an entire industry? The answer lies in three powerful forces that shape the entire business world: entrepreneurship, innovation, and disruption. Three ideas that have built empires, destroyed industries, created billionaires, and changed the way the world works. If you truly understand these three forces, you will never see business the same way again. And today, we are going to break them down like a world-class business school would, but in a way no classroom ever will. Because this is real-world business school. Let's begin. Part 1. The Business Trinity. If business success were a machine, entrepreneurship would be the engine, innovation would be the fuel, and disruption would be the explosion that changes the market forever. Most people confuse these ideas. They think they mean the same thing. They don't. Entrepreneurship is starting and building value. Innovation is creating something new or better. Disruption is changing an industry so deeply that the old leaders collapse. Some entrepreneurs innovate, some innovators disrupt, but the rare few do all three. And those are the people who reshape history. People like Henry Ford, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos. But to understand how these forces work, we need to break them down one by one. Starting with the first force, entrepreneurship. Part 2. What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is one of the most misunderstood words in the world. Many people think entrepreneurs are simply business owners. That is not true. A shop owner can run a business for 40 years without ever being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not simply owning a business. Entrepreneurship is the process of identifying opportunity and creating value where it did not exist before. In simple terms, entrepreneurs see what others cannot see, and they build something from it. The entrepreneurial mind. Entrepreneurs think differently. When most people see problems, entrepreneurs see opportunities. When people complain about inconvenience, entrepreneurs see markets waiting to be built. For example, people complained that taxis were unreliable. One entrepreneur saw an opportunity. That idea became Uber. People complained that hotels were expensive. Two entrepreneurs saw an opportunity. That became Airbnb. Entrepreneurs listen to complaints because complaints often reveal unserved markets. Example: Henry Ford. In the early 1900s, cars existed, but they were luxury products, and only the rich could afford them. Most Americans traveled by horse. Henry Ford saw something others missed. He believed cars could become affordable for ordinary people. His vision was simple: I will build a car for the great multitude. The result was the Model T, and Ford introduced one of the most powerful production systems ever created, the assembly line. The price of a car dropped dramatically. Millions of people could suddenly afford automobiles. Ford didn't invent the car, but he became one of the greatest entrepreneurs in history. because he transformed access to it. But entrepreneurship alone does not change the world. Because starting a business is not enough. Millions of businesses exist, but very few reshape industries. For that to happen, something more powerful must occur. Innovation. Part 3. What is innovation? Innovation is the engine of progress. It is the process of introducing new ideas, products, or systems that improve the way things work. Innovation does not always mean inventing something completely new. Sometimes innovation means making something dramatically better. There are 3 main types of innovation. Type 1, product innovation. This is the most obvious type. It happens when a company creates a new or improved product. Example, the smartphone. Before smartphones existed, people used MP3 players, digital cameras, GPS devices, mobile phones. Each was separate. Then one product combined them all. The smartphone. Companies like Apple and Samsung didn't just create phones. They created a new category of device. Type 2, process innovation. This type of innovation improves how something is produced or delivered. Example, Amazon. Amazon did not invent books, but they revolutionized how books were sold. Before Amazon, you had to go to a physical bookstore. Amazon created online retail logistics, warehouses, fast delivery, recommendation algorithms. Today, Amazon sells almost everything because they innovated the process of retail. Type 3, business model innovation. This is the most powerful form of innovation. Instead of changing the product, it changes how money is made. Example, Netflix. Netflix began as a DVD rental company. But when streaming technology became possible, they transformed their business model. Instead of renting movies, they created subscription streaming. Now millions of people pay monthly. This single innovation reshaped global entertainment. But innovation alone still does not explain why some companies become unstoppable. Because innovation can improve industries without destroying them. Disruption is what destroys the old order. Part 4. What is disruption? Disruption is when a new technology, product, or business model completely changes an industry. When disruption happens, the old leaders often collapse. Disruption is creative destruction. Old systems die, new systems rise. Example, Netflix versus Blockbuster. In the early 2000s, Blockbuster dominated movie rentals. Thousands of stores, millions of customers. Then Netflix appeared. At first, Netflix looked small and unimportant. Blockbuster ignored them. But Netflix had a powerful idea. Movies without stores, streaming. Suddenly, people could watch movies at home instantly. Within a few years, Blockbuster went bankrupt. That is disruption. My example, Uber versus taxi industry. For decades, taxi services operated with the same model. Call a dispatcher, wait for a cab, pay high prices. Then Uber introduced a disruptive idea. Use a smartphone app to connect drivers and riders directly. Prices dropped. Convenience increased. The taxi industry was forced to adapt. But here is the most important lesson in business. The companies that dominate today can become obsolete tomorrow, because disruption never stops. And the next disruptor might already be building something in a garage. Part 5. How entrepreneurship, innovation, and disruption work together. Now that we understand the 3 forces, we can see how they combine to create business revolutions. Step 1. An entrepreneur sees an opportunity. Step 2. Innovation creates a better solution. Step 3. If the solution is powerful enough, it disrupts the industry. This is the cycle that builds business empires. Example: Apple. Entrepreneurship: Steve Jobs saw the opportunity for personal computing. Innovation: Apple created beautifully designed computers and smartphones. Disruption: the iPhone changed the entire mobile industry. Example: Amazon. Entrepreneurship: Jeff Bezos saw the future of online commerce. Innovation: Amazon built advanced logistics systems. Disruption: retail shopping changed forever. The future of business. Right now, some of the biggest disruptions in history are already happening. Artificial intelligence, electric vehicles, automation, space technology. Companies that understand entrepreneurship, innovation, and disruption will lead the future. Those that ignore them will disappear. The next billion-dollar company might not exist yet, but somewhere, an entrepreneur is working on it right now. If you want to succeed in business, don't just study companies. Study the forces that shape them. Entrepreneurship, innovation, disruption. Master these three, and you will understand how the business world really works. Because business is not just about making money, it's about changing the future. And if you want to learn the real strategies behind the world's greatest companies, welcome to Real World Business School. Subscribe, because the next lesson might change the way you see business forever.